Community members are invited to a celebration of life this weekend honoring a beloved member of the Northland fishing community. As we've reported, Jeremy Johnson died after a boat crash in May on Lake Vermilion. And Johnson, who was 53 years old, was guiding veterans on a fishing trip when two boats crashed. Johnson swam to shore after the crash and later died from underlying cardiac conditions. Those who knew Johnson told us he was a caring man who always gave back to others. Tomorrow, Johnson's family resort, Whispering Winds, will host a celebration of life. It's happening from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Mountain Iron Civic Center.